Hey there, everyone. Big Hog here. Back again with the amazing ball here. I'm gonna see if I can't move this out of my face so it doesn't disturb you all. Uh, for the most part. Well, I'm up pretty late tonight. It is 12:57 a.m. Eastern time up here in Michigan, where it's pretty fucking cold outside, if I do say so myself. Got about a foot of snow on the ground, but I'm gonna skip past that and get to the point. Well, tonight I fairly bored. So I figured I'm going to go on the official CARM website, which is the Christian Apologist Research Ministry. This is the big wig of Christian apologetics. This is where all the apologists go and they say, oh, this is where we get all our information, where we can fabricate more shit based off of it so they can try to make things make sense. I'm gonna just go on here for a couple minutes and look up some arguments. I've already looked up a few beforehand, so I won't waste as much time, and pretty much lay it out for you. All right. Now I'm gonna go with the ones that I can remember out the bat. The first one I saw was atheism's ability or inability to account for existence. Now, what their argument basically was is we have no way to prove that the Big Bang ever happened or that all this other random shit and saying that God had to have done it. See, that is the lifeblood of religion, and it always will be, because there are uncertainties and there are unknowns in the world. If there is an unknown, God did it immediately. No, like there's no other way. God did it. The big G, only one that could have done it. Now, this argument in and of itself is already just batshit. I mean, I don't think I have to refute this because how much have we learned in the last 100 years? You know what I mean? We've learned to fly, automobiles, space flight. We're in fucking space. We landed on the fucking moon 100 years ago. You know what people would have said if I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go land on the moon"? They'd put me in the fucking psycho ward. But now we can do it. And now we understand these things. And so it's no longer God's doing. So until we can understand it, it's supposedly going to be God's doing. Now, when we finally can prove the Big Bang Theory and things of this such, it's going to be pretty much game over for creationists. It already is. Even the majority of Christians are turning to evolution because they're starting to realize something's a little fucked up here. Can I blame them? No, not really. In fact, I'd say, get on them. Another one was atheism's inability to account for morality. And their thought that was because atheism has no moral driving force, we're automatically immoral or don't have the correct morals. First thing I want to state is what is correct? I mean, especially in this world, it's like normal. It's like normality. What's normal? What is the norm? There's no certainty, especially throughout the entirety of the world. Things are different here than they would be in Africa or Europe. I mean, even within Christian denominations themselves, things are different. Look at the Mormons. They're between regular Christians and Mormons. Mormons are polygamists. That is a moral that they possess. They think it is okay to have multiple wives when pretty much no one else in the world thinks it's okay. It's about where you're from, what your community's like, and how you're raised. That's where your morals come from. Just because you're an atheist doesn't mean you're a bad person, and it doesn't mean that you have bad or incorrect morals. It just means that Christians are idiots that like to think that their morals are right. Another one I saw. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the page, so just give me a moment here. Bear with me, because this might get a little gay, especially for you Christians out there. You might get a little bit butthurt, because I know you don't like me going on your interwebs, destroying your ideals. Sorry, but it has to happen. But one thing I saw was it was talking about how atheists automatically all think that Christians' theology is that might makes right. And it really is. They try to say that it's not by fact that they're peaceful and all this shit, when obviously the past has shown Christianity in particular to be, for one, not peaceful. And when I say might makes right, God makes right because He is Almighty. Therefore, whatever He does is right, and whatever you do is wrong. If it's not what He's been doing, so they say God can't lie. You know what I mean? And if you lie, then you're going against God, even though you've been given free will and the ability to do that. So, okay. Do the laws of logic contradict miracles? Yes, they do. The argument that they make here is that the laws of logic don't contradict miracles is because God is outside the laws of logic, because He's God. It's because He's God. And they say that because of that, He can make miracles happen, even if they seem physically impossible, just because He's not bound by the laws of logic. Well, in order for Him to let me just put it blatantly this way: just because He's God isn't really a very good argument. If He's breaking the laws of logic, He would also have to be, to an extent, breaking the laws of physics, and breaking the laws of physics leads Him right back into non-existence. So, the Christian apologetics are saying that God doesn't exist. Heresy. They contradict themselves. It's almost disgusting. I don't even see. They make my job easier. Okay. And a couple things I saw here were about God's existence, unnecessary suffering, and the omniscience of free will. They said that an omniscient being with free, God can't have free will and all this, so that way He doesn't exist. And the apologetics try to revert by saying that God is God, God is perfect. God, in fact, it reads God can do whatever He desires. So because God is God, He exists. No other reason. That I have yet to find another reason, scanning this site as much as I have, other than God is God and He is beyond the limitations of everything, and that's why He can do whatever He wants, and that's why He does those things, which aren't very strong arguments and in and of itself contradictory. So far, I see why the Christian apologetics haven't phased me, because I've argued with a couple in my time, and it wasn't very enjoyable. I don't know if I can name names, so I'm not going to, but there was a guy a while ago. Panda Man knows him, if Panda ever watches this. And he was supposedly an apologist, and he said he had to go to the bathroom, and he came back and basically like bent over and said, "Stick it in my butt because I'm getting raped." So it wasn't very fun for him. It was fun for me though. I was ripping him a new asshole. It's disgusting. All right, let me see if I can squeeze a couple more things in here. Uh, the religion of atheism. Now, I think Coughlin 666 said it best, but I'm going to go with him. They say that you have to have just as much faith to not believe as you do to believe. Well, if you're going to go by setting that high of a standard, then actually you have to have faith in everything. Like, I have to have faith in saying this is a computer. Because in reality, there are no absolute certainties. Anything can be refuted at any time when there's enough evidence. That's why we're still arguing about evolution. Even though there's more evidence towards the actual evolution thing. But do the Christians care? Nope. They just want to keep yapping their fucking mouths. But anyways, I can't remember exactly how Coughlin said it, but he said if we have to go on faith about everything, then we literally have to go on faith about everything being everything, explaining everything. So the argument is irrelevant, because then what else are we gonna have to go on faith? It's an overbearing statement that tries to put too much into the facts. But I'm not gonna go into that. I gotta go. Good day, YouTube. See ya.